So, I'm sure all of y'all know that nothing in life is free. You know, from car notes to insurance to mortgages and just anything. So, my dad, I used to, go hang out with my friends and, do all this stuff. And he told me, he's like, you realize every time you leave the house, it costs money, which is true, which I never thought about. Every time you walk out the door and turn on your car, it costs money. So, and it's kind of sad to think, but it's true. We've all heard the quote, money is the root of all evil. But I mean, it's true, it's just how today's society is. So, I don't know, question I often ask myself, just out of curiosity, I wonder if the government quits printing money, how long would the money that's currently in circulation last? Like how long before, the rich get it all and, rich people don't spend their money, which is strange, but that's why they have a lot. So, a funny quote I found by Steve Martin. It goes, I love money. I love everything about it. He's like, I bought a pair of $300 socks. I bought a first sink and an electric dog polisher. He's like, but I had to buy some stupid stuff too. So, funny story. So me being in college, broke most of the time. It was actually it was Rhett's bachelor trip. So, I went despite not having much money, and we naturally ended up at a strip club. So, trying to go into a strip club and not spend much money is kind of hard, especially when you're only single one of your friend group. So, my dad, he told me about one of his friends growing up, and I thought it was funny. It actually stuck very well. So, he said, he's like, I had this friend growing up. He's like, he never brought his wallet anywhere he went. He's like, y'all would go to eat, didn't have his wallet. He would come over to hang out or to a function, never brought any beer. So they started nicknaming him Moochie, because he mooched off everybody. And still to this day, they're between 45 and 50 years old, and still to this day, they call him Moochie. So, I thought that was pretty fun. So, it leads me to ask, if money wasn't an issue, would you want your kids or your grandkids or, just people in your family to receive a good higher education, college or medical school or whatnot? So, and there's no doubt that the cost of college is going up. On Southeastern's website, it says that in-state tuition averages about $7,500 a year, which this doesn't include meal plans. Southeastern, they fortunate enough to let you rent textbooks, but doesn't include your parking passes, your parking tickets if you get any, stuff like that. So, I read a survey from ballotpedia.com, and it says that in the past, this was in 2016, the past 10 years from 2006 to 2016, the cost of higher education, like the tuition, has risen 74%, which is more than 3 times the rate of inflation. So that's kind of scary if you think about it. So, this rises, with the higher cost of education, it becomes an issue, with state and government, state and federal, government, like offering money to help kids go to college. So they have programs such as TOPS, we all know that. But it doesn't necessarily work out for everybody, because if you're like me, in high school, I missed TOPS by 0.02 on my core GPA. So this caused my parents to have to pay for all of my tuition with no assistance at all. But that just, I don't know, I just feel like TOPS, it's not, it's there, most people get it, but it just doesn't work for some people, because in high school, I didn't really struggle, but I missed TOPS, but it's just, it doesn't work for everybody, and then, so I got to college and I maintained a 3.3 GPA, so it just goes to show you that the system that's in play right now doesn't necessarily work for everybody. But Louisiana offers a program, it's called Start Saving, which it allows parents, from the time a child's born to start putting money away for their child's tuition. And there's some incentives with it. They offer to match your whatever you put into that fund up to 14%, but I mean that's really not a big percentage, especially if it's not all that much money, because like I said, everything's expensive nowadays. And then another incentive that it offers is whatever money that you put into that fund, you can not claim as a loss, but you're not taxed on it at the end of the year. So, I mean, that's the two big incentives that it has. But I don't know. I feel like the government should do more. I feel like there should be more of a matching incentive on it. I think that the government should match 50%, because say you put $2,000 into that, so they match it 50%, so that's $3,000. You do that times 18. Like I said, the cost of education is constantly increasing. But so say $3,000 a year times 18. That's the average age people go to college. That'll be, as right now, that would cover almost all of the education cost for a 4-year degree. So, like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that this system would work, because I've had to hear my parents complain about how I dropped the ball in high school and they had to pay for all of my college, which, I mean, I did good in school growing up, but they didn't necessarily plan to have to come out of pocket for all of my education. So that just goes to show that, if there was more of an incentive involved, it would motivate more people to put money aside for their kids and to make sure that they get a good education. So if we could get this plan into action, I know all of y'all are newly married, so if this were to work and we did get this ball rolling, wouldn't you want your kids to receive a good education if you knew that the money that you were, like, the government was backing your money, because, like I said, more of an incentive. Because 14% is not all that much. So, like I said, it just leaves me with a question. Would y'all want y'all's kids to have a good education?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.